What is going on, faithful? It is your boy, Niner Sickness, with the Niner Sickness Report. We have a great show tonight. I am looking forward to introducing our guest. He needs no introduction. He is known all over YouTube, but nevertheless, this is my friend. This is one of the greatest YouTube content creators on YouTube. Please give your hands for my boy, Jay in the Bay. What's up, brother?
First, I gotta say, faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. And it's a pleasure to be on with you, Niner Sickness. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. Doing much better now that you're finally on my show, bro. It's like I had to save the best for last, and I had to look out there, man. No offense to nobody else, but there's only one Jay in the Bay in the world of YouTube. Welcome to the show, bro. He's a faithful content creator. Make sure to check out his channel, Jay in the Bay. He represents the red and gold, baby. No better team out there in the NFL. So check him out. But welcome, bro. And everybody's saying hello. Damian Lee saying hello. Oh, this is way too big. Give me a second. Let me bring that a little bit smaller. He says, can't wait until the Pats come on with the loud hitting. We got LSU in the house. Made a shout out video for your Niner Sickness. Oh, right on, brother. Appreciate that. We got a CJ Ruthless Sports. Yo, Sickness and Jay in the Bay. Do me a favor, guys. Before we continue to proceed, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. And hit that notification. But hit that like button. I would appreciate that. What's up, David Williams? How you doing, sir? Welcome. That's a badass intro. Thank you. I made that. I made it myself the other day. So I appreciate that. I like to make my own intro, so appreciate that. He's saying, Alex, who says, what's up, Jay in the Bay?
What's good?
My boy, Young Hitter. This guy's one of my faithful followers, man. Love this guy. What's up, brother? How you doing? Just having a wonderful day, Beto. Let's see here. Oh, look who we have here. Niner Minded. I wonder who this gentleman is. I know this guy.
Good?
I was watching this show with you and him, and then when you pronounce his name wrong, I'm sorry. I busted up laughing, bro. I looked at Bashar's face. What did you call him?
I said Basher. But it's pronounced Bashar, yeah.
When you said Basher, bro, I looked right at Bashar, and Bashar's like, it's Bashar. I'm like, I love Bashar, man. Bashar's cool dude, man. He's a cool dude. Cool. Just don't screw up his name, but he's cool. Monte Williams, welcome to the show. He says, what's up, Niner Sickness? What's up, Jay in the Bay? Saying hello. We got Niner Gang Podcast. What's up, Jay in the Bay? Niner Sickness. What's good? How do you do it, bro? Go ahead. Do your thing.
What's good?
There you go. And then we got, I don't think David got one of those, bro. You got to give David one of them.
What's good?
Right on. So, yeah, man. So, as everybody's starting to come in and fill in the chat, everybody welcome. Feel free to mingle with one another in the chat. Get to know each other. So, let's get to know Mr. Jay in the Bay. Let's get to know him. So Jay, let me ask you, when did you become a Niner fan and why?
My earliest memory of the 49ers was 1999 playoff game, 49ers versus Packers. Hell of a game. And T.O., of course, had the game-winning touchdown catch. And that was when my fandom began. I was only I was 11 years old when that game transpired, and I was still watching wrestling, playing video games. But my whole family was watching the game, and they were really excited. And I was like, "Hey, this is fun to watch football. I need to, invest some time in this." And ever since then, I've been a 49er fan.
Wow, okay. So you look at who's giving you a shout out. My beautiful wife. Is giving you Jay in the Bay a shout out. Renee Luna. What's up,
What's
girl?
good?
Yeah, she's always my faithful supporter, man. Niner Miner says, "What's up, Niner gang?" Yeah, bro. So that's awesome, bro. That's awesome how you became a Niner fan, and all of us as Niner fans, we all have our pretty much our road how we became Niner fans, why we become the supporter and loving fans that we are to the greatest team in the NFL, and it's always a pleasure hearing other people's perspective of why they follow the red and gold, because a lot of us have different reasonings. Some of us, our parents, our uncles, our aunts, our cousins. I grew up with a family, not my personal family, but my extended family, which was my best friend's family, who pretty much I grew up with. They were all Raider fans, and I was like, they were trying to suck me into the Raider family, bro, and I'm like, I don't know about that. So I decided to go the other way, which I'm glad I did. But this show is not about me. It is about you, bro. So let me ask you, what is one of your most favorite game of all times that you watched on either TV or in person?
One of my favorite 49er games, I would say it's probably during Colin Kaepernick's era. Actually, there's a few. There's one Alex Smith game, playoff game against the Saints at home. That was a huge game. I wish I could have been there, but that was a hell of a game going up against Drew Brees. Vernon Davis had a hell of a game. And also, I can remember a game with Colin Kaepernick. We went up to Green Bay, and we beat Green Bay pretty badly. And Kaepernick had a hell of a season that year. Those are two games that really stand out to me.
Okay. So those are the games. I gotta remember you're a young one watching.
Yeah.
You come from the newer generation. So if correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you ever seen a Super Bowl that we won in person, right? Not in person, but live.
Yeah, I have not. The last one obviously was the 94-95 season. And back then, I wasn't into the 49ers just yet. So, yeah, I've seen two Super Bowls that we participated in, but have yet to see a victory. We're still on the quest for 6. And, hopefully we get that this year.
Yeah, right on, right on. There's our boy Nick Bosa saying bang,
Nick
bang,
Bosa.
Niner gang. But, yeah, okay. So, see, I'm a little spoiled, bro. I got the opportunity to watch all 5 Super Bowls, watch them win, and got to enjoy all the old school, spoiled with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Joe Montana and Steve Young, on the same roster. You're not going to get that with all the cap now. You're never going to see 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks on the same team again. At least I haven't seen it, and since so we got spoiled. I got spoiled with the Ronnie Lotts, the Tina Turners, all the guys on defense, offense, Steve Young, Brent Jones, Roger Craig's, the John Taylor, Jerry Rice, of course, which we call Fifi. We got, I got spoiled with all them, and then we went to a drought. Ever since we lost Steve Young to retirement, the best quarterback that we had since probably was Jeff Garcia for a bit. But after Jeff Garcia, bro, you can tell me anything you want about Alex Smith, Kaepernick, but nothing compared to those type of quarterbacks. And we had been in a drought when it comes to quarterbacks, bro. So hopefully with Trey Lance, and that's what I want to get into in our next segment with Trey Lance. I want to know what your thoughts are, what you've been hearing about Trey Lance, what you like about Trey Lance, and do you think that there's a possibility that he might start week 1?
Well, I've seen, great things from training camp and Trey Lance. If we go back a few months to the NFL draft, I was surprised and excited that we moved up from pick 12 to pick 3. I think we knew then that we were going to get a quarterback of the future. And, I still think that Jimmy has value to the team. And I think that Shanahan still feels that way. I think that's why Jimmy G is still on the team. And I want to continue to see Trey Lance progress in camp. He's looked good so far. I believe on day 4 of training camp, he had about 4 read option runs. And, if it was a real game, he could have easily ran for over 20 plus yards on each run, on each play. So that was definitely good to see, definitely exciting. And Jimmy struggled a little bit on day 4, but I want to continue to see this play out. I don't know how you feel and the rest of the faithful feel, but I'm not in a rush to see Trey Lance if he's not ready. If Shanahan feels that Trey Lance is ready week 1, then Trey Lance should start week 1. I would be a little surprised by that when you have a veteran who's, had one great year. Granted, it was only 1 year, but, Shanahan does not have a winning record without Jimmy G under center. And I think Jimmy, as of right now, gives the team the best chance to win. No doubt, Trey Lance is exciting. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's got the arm. He's got the athleticism. He's got everything, but he doesn't have the experience yet. And I'm eager to see if he can, get starter reps. If he can play quarterback, first string reps in training camp and in preseason, that for me, that's a step up. That means that Shanahan is really saying, okay, let's see what the Rook can do going up against a starter caliber defense. And if he excels, I think he could start at quarterback sooner than later.
Yeah, I agree with you, what you said. As much as we are all enamored with Trey Lance, the newest toy, especially since we've been in a drought of the quarterback position, we're hungry. Some of us like Jimmy. Some of us are fed up with Jimmy, and rightfully so. Jimmy can't stay healthy. Everybody says that Kyle Shanahan can't open up the playbook with Jimmy. Jimmy's limits to what Kyle Shanahan can do. But the fact is, we win games with Jimmy. They may not be pretty. Can Jimmy put the team on his shoulders? Probably not. But he can win games. If you don't recall, please remember the games that we had Nick Mullins starting, and look how those games were. So, and don't give me that. While we had a lot of players hurt, Jimmy's still a better quarterback than Nick Mullins. So, I'm with you. Allow Trey Lance to develop. Allow him to learn. Allow him to get a grasp of that offense. Feel comfortable, confident in what he does, and there's no pressure. Listen. We're not the Jets. We're not the Jaguars where they have to play their starting QB day 1. We have the luxury of having Jimmy Garoppolo, whether you like him or not. We have that luxury of playing him and allowing Trey Lance to develop and learn and sit behind Jimmy. And just rest assured that if Jimmy gets hurt, God forbid, or if he stinks it up, then you can bring in a Trey Lance into it. And I understand that Trey Lance has been looking good in practice. But don't forget what it is. It's practice. He's playing on shorts. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's playing in shorts. Even when they put on the pads, you got to believe that the talent that Trey Lance brings to the table, he's gonna play good against the seconds. He's a first string type of quarterback playing against the second string. He's gonna look good. So taper down your expectations. Even if Trey Lance looks really, really good in training camp, he's only going to get better with watching and learning that offense. Now, I agree. He's only played 1 year in college and 1 game in 2020 due to COVID, no fault of his own. and he hasn't had that much playing time. Sometimes people say you learn how to drive behind the wheel than you do watching. But and I'm not opposed to not starting him sometime this season, but I'm opposed to starting him week one. I think we can roll with Jimmy week one, go on, and maybe by the bye, depending where we're at, how Jimmy's playing, then Kyle can make that evaluation whether we bring in Trey, and then depending how much Trey has been showing, Kyle, that he's ready to come in. But I agree with you, bro. There's no need to rush him in. You know, and people have been comparing us to the Bears with Dalton and just Fields. Dalton doesn't know the offense. He's there. This is his first year there. He's not that good. So Justin Fields winning that competition, I can see that happening. Jimmy's been here for a few years. We won with Jimmy. Yeah. It's a whole different scenario in my perspective. So I agree with you, Jay in the Bay. I think Niner fans should just kind of relax a little bit and just enjoy the wins with Jimmy and know that we don't have to rely on Nick Mullins no more. We have Trey and the Bay sitting there, grasping his hands, ready to come in, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so what's up, Raymond Martinez? Welcome to the show. My boy Roberto Hastings, welcome to the show as well. So that's my take on Trey. I know that we've been talking about this. It seems like forever since we drafted him, and rightfully so. We're fanatic. We're excited, bro. But it does get old to some point, and I know that now the training camp is here, and now that the pads are going to be going on this week, tomorrow, and Trey starts looking good. But at the end of the day, I support Kyle Shanahan in his opinion. If he feels that for whatever reason Trey should be the one that gives us the better chances of winning, then hey, by all means, I'll support him. Either way, we're in a good situation because iron sharpens iron. They're making each other good. So whoever starts week one, understand that we have two good quarterbacks starting. What's up, Lily World?
Let's go.
And then we have Seth. I butchered her name. I apologize. I read it too fast. Seth, how you doing? Welcome to the show. So let me ask you, who has impressed you so far in training camp for what you've seen? Whether it's offense, let me start with offense, and then I'll ask you for defense. Who has impressed you so far in offense?
On offense, I would say Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu, he had a cup of coffee with the Niners in 2020. He played 3 games. He might have had 1 catch, and then he got cut. Sanu said in a recent interview that he was out of shape, and I think it shows. In 2021, he's been working out with Trey in the offseason. He's looked good so far. I mean, who else is going to step up and claim that number 3 wide receiver spot? Sanu has been taking first team reps at that number 3 wide receiver spot. I was hoping that we would get another receiver in the draft. I know we got undrafted free agent Austin Watkins, but Sanu has looked really good on offense, and we'll see if this keeps up because he could potentially be the number 3 wide receiver. I saw Jalen Hurd was at practice today. I saw that he was doing individual drills, which is good. That's a good sign. Still waiting on Juwan Jennings. He's in COVID protocol. And then Richie James, I don't know if he just hasn't developed a rapport with Jimmy G yet, or Shanahan doesn't trust him. I don't know, but I think those are your 3 best options for that number 3 wide receiver spot. Mohamed Sanu, Hurd, or Jennings. And I would say, yeah, Mohamed Sanu, he's definitely impressed me in camp, and let's see if he can keep it up when the pads come on and preseason.
Okay. So he's the one that is kind of you seen that you like coming into camp. Yeah, I heard he was injured last year. He wasn't himself. He was struggling with some injuries, and therefore he didn't play the way he normally plays. But everybody's saying that he looks like the guy that played in Atlanta this year. So if he can bring in some type of play to that third, And I didn't watch today's training camp. Like I said, today before the show, I've been running like crazy doing errands today. So Jalen Hurd was out there today, huh?
He was out there. Yep, he was participating in individual drills. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So he was out there. So that's good. That's good because I was kind of concerned a little bit with him because he was there week 1, and then he kind of disappeared from that point on. And Nick Bosa was off too, but then he's been back. Even D Ford has been there consistently in training camp, and nothing from Hurd. So seeing Hurd coming back today, then hearing of him being there, that's great news, bro. That's really exciting news because I would really like to see what Kyle Shanahan can do with him and Mohamed Sanu playing that third spot, being great blockers for a run game. That's what I really look for the receiver at the number 3 spot. I'm not really looking for great pass catchers. If they can do that, that's great. I'm looking for more big body. They can block and open up those lanes for our running backs. That's what I want from that position. So on defense, who's your most surprised candidate that you've seen so far defensively?
I would say, I've heard good things about DJ Jones. Definitely heard good things about him. But I think the player who's gonna develop most out of training camp, I think it's gonna be Samson Ebukam, the pass rusher we got from the LA Rams. I think he's gonna impress most because, like you say, Niner sickness, iron sharpens iron, and he's gonna be going up in camp against Trent Williams. And I know he's going to have some days where Trent Williams just, completely blocks him and he won't get close to the quarterback. But then there are those opportunities where, he's able to get the best of Trent Williams. And that's going to make Samson a lot better because Trent is one of the best left tackles in the NFL. Some people could say the left tackle out of Green Bay, Bakhtiari, he's pretty good as well. But Trent Williams looks good. Or excuse me, Samson I think he'll have the most, I would say he will continue to progress throughout camp because he's going up against Trent Williams every day in camp, and also Mike McGlinchey. He'll be going up against Mike McGlinchey, and I think Mike McGlinchey should have a bounce back year. That's another offensive player who's in the final year of his contract. Players love to play. Players love to ball out in the final year of their contract.
Yes, sir.
And Mike McGlinchey, he's not taking any hometown discounts. He's going to try to get the most money he can get at that right tackle spot, even if it's not from the Niners. And McGlinchey, he put on 25 pounds, so he's ready for the season. And he's another guy I think who should have a great camp.
I agree with the Mike McGlinchey. I think he's underrated. I understand people are fed up with his pass blocking ability. He's better in the run game, and that's what he's good at. But adding an extra 25 pounds would give him that stability of holding upright to those defenders. And not only that, but he really never had a confident right guard next to him that he can feel comfortable. And I think that took a toll on him. And now that we have Banks, follow Notre Dame guy from him there, it's going to make McGlinchey better. And then when it comes to Samson, I like when they asked him about Trent Williams, and he sat there and just sighed for a second. He's like,
yeah.
But it's true. Trent Williams is arguably the best left tackle in the league right now, and iron does sharpen iron, and that's going to allow Samson. He's going to get beat more than wins, but even in the beat downs, he's going to be able to go back to the film, learn and watch, see what he did wrong, and learn from it. And not only that, but Trent's going to be in his ear. Trent's going to say, hey, do this, do that. He looks like a very humble kid that would sit there and take notes and not be too prideful. I expect a big year out of him. But another guy that I expect a big year, and who brought him up real quick? I want to give him kudos. He brought him up let me look for it, is Monte Williams said Keys looks good. Adrian Keys looks really good coming from the Raiders. He's been showing off at the defensive end, so he's more of a rotational guy. I don't know about you, Jay in the Bay. I want to get your thoughts on this. I think in the 2019 season, we had the better D line, the better front four. But I think in 2021 we have the better rotational of linemen that we had in 2019, in my opinion. I want to get your thoughts on that.
That's a great question. 2019 was an incredible year. The front four consisted of, D Ford, you had a rookie Bosa, you had Armstead, you had Buckner. And 2021, what can we expect from D Ford this year? I know he's back at camp. That's great. I think the best case scenario for D Ford, we limit his snaps. Hopefully he can contribute on obvious like third down passing situations. Bosa, same thing. I think he should play, 15, 20 snaps week one. Yeah. You just need to ease him into the season. He doesn't need to be playing 100% of the snaps.
No.
Kinlaw, he's in training camp now. Last week Shanahan said that he had some knee swelling. So I believe he participated in one-on-one drills, but not any team drills. And hopefully Armstead plays more defensive tackle than edge rusher. I think he's better inside next to Kinlaw. But I would say, honestly, I think the 2019, the front four is probably better. But as you say, the depth of the 2021 is probably better with, Arden Key, with, DJ Jones, Maurice Hurst, Zach Kerr. Can't forget about Jordan Willis. We traded for him last year from the Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to be suspended for the first 6 weeks. But he should be back. He'll have fresh legs, so maybe he can provide a pass rush, after the first, 6 weeks of the season. I'm trying to think about forgetting anybody. I think we still have Contavious Street, Kevin Givens, I believe.
I like Kevin Givens.
I don't think all of those defensive linemen will be here or make the active roster, but I think we'll have at least, 7 at least go into the active roster.
Yep, I hear you. Don Burr, welcome to the show, bro. He's a Lions fan, and he's saying that we're going to win. The Niners are going to win week one, so he's not a delusional. Now anything can happen, obviously, on any given Sunday. There's no guarantee. There's no absolutes in football, but the Niners do have a better roster. If the Niners are healthy and if they handle their business, that game should be won by the Niners. But I like what the Lions are doing. I don't know about the head coach, Campbell, though. I don't know about the kneecapping thing. I don't know if you guys watched. I know that Don Burr watched the press conference, but I don't know if anybody else did. But I never heard of a coach speak like that before, bro. I thought I heard it all.
That speech didn't inspire you to go out there and fight for your coach?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I guess I hit him in the kneecaps, and if hit him again, I'm like, all right, there, Campbell, you bring it to the table. What's up, 49ers first takes?
What's good?
How you doing? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you, man. Your support. Make sure you hit that like button on the screen there for me. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. So I like what you brought up. I like the ones you picked. Definitely can't argue with that, man. That's Samson's going to get better. I think he was underutilized with the Rams and that defensive, the way they played him there. I think he has more to offer, and the fact that we're going to use him more as a DN than a linebacker, it'll be good for him just to pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. Kind of like the way what we wanted to do with D Ford originally is how we're going to use Samson. And he has quickness. Now, I'm not comparing him to D Ford. I'm just saying he has the quickness as D Ford. So if he can do anything, and then bringing Bosa back, as long as Bosa can stay healthy, he makes everybody better. And Eric Armstead feeds off of Bosa, so he'll be better. I think Javon Kinlaw is going to be better this year than he was. Defensive tackles usually are better second year around than their first year. At least that's the trend that I've seen, not just with the Niners, but with any team. So we'll see what he has to provide. And the only thing that concerns me, Jay, and I want to talk to you a little bit, is the secondary. If Jason Verrett or Emmanuel Mosley go down, I don't know. I heard Amory Thomas has not been looking good in camp, so I want to get your thoughts, man. What's the best case scenario with our secondary, and what's the worst case scenario in your mind with our secondary this year?
Well, best case scenario, the entire secondary stays healthy. Jason Verrett continues to play at an all-pro level, and Emmanuel Mosley is solid. And K'Wan Williams, goes back to form as being the best, nickel slot corner in the NFL. Worst case scenario, Jason Verrett, unfortunately, his track record, he's missed more games than he's played. If he gets hurt, I think it'll force one of the rookies to maybe play. But if we were rhyme back a little bit, going back into this offseason, we needed an influx of young corners in the draft, and also we only had one corner who had a contract into next year. So I applaud John Lynch for even being able to re-sign our cornerbacks, and we basically have the entire core back minus Richard Sherman, and hopefully Richard Sherman is doing better. But I think hopefully the rookies do get some playing time, because potentially they could be our starters next year. Because I would be surprised if we brought back Verrett and K'Wan. The salary cap will go up, and I'm sure that those guys want to try to get a lucrative contract extension. This could be the last of their career because they're up there near 30. So, but yeah, best case scenario, they all ball out. And I always love to say what makes a secondary good is the pass rush. You got to have a pass rush. You got to make the quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. And hopefully Samsung, has a double-digit sack year. Also Armstead, because Armstead had a
I know. I'm sorry.
I can hope. I can hope, right? I can hope and I can pray.
I'm sorry, bro. I read that too when you were talking. I didn't mean to laugh, but I'm sorry.
I mean, look, Armstead had a double-digit sack season in 2019. Granted, he was surrounded with talent, but Armstead, I'm expecting it. He's the highest paid defensive lineman or defensive player on the team. Besides, I don't know, him and Warner, they're somewhere close to each other. But I mean, if you're a defensive lineman, you get paid top 5, top 10. We expect you to get sacks.
Yeah, true.
And you did that in your contract year. So he had a bad year last year. Let's see if he can bounce back. And I know some people say it's not all about sacks. At least get pressure. At least make the quarterback uncomfortable.
100%.
At least be around the quarterback. So, but I can hope and I can pray about Eric Armstead.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Now we know that Eric Armstead is not your typical Nick Bosa type of player. Okay, right. So he is what he is. He's a complementary type of player. So last year, losing Bosa, losing D Ford, a lot of teams double teamed Armstead. So I did not expect a great year from Armstead last year. But having Bosa back, having Samson there, having Key there, with all that rotation, he should be able not to be double teamed. So I expect him. Again, he's a complementary player. I think Eric Armstead plays better when you have a Nick Bosa on the other side. So we'll have to wait and see this year. But I hear you. You don't pay him that amount of money not to be productive. And I'm not a sacks guy either. I like pressures more than sacks. I welcome sacks if they're there. But he didn't either last year. And even though he didn't play as bad, but you want a player to play to what he makes financially, pretty much.
Right.
You want him to earn what he makes. So if he makes big bucks, he needs to make big plays. So hopefully he does that this year. We'll have to wait and see. Jay in the Bay. Let's see what happens. Monty Williams says, Jay and Beto, what do you think about Banks being the week 1 starter? He's not looking good at camp. He's been getting beat. I'll go ahead and answer that if you don't mind.
I think we have to, taper our expectations. He is a rookie. Granted, he's a Bay Area kid. Went to Notre Dame. But we gotta respect Daniel Brunskill. I mean, Brunskill's been with the team for a few years. He knows the system. He's played multiple positions on the offensive line, and Brunskill has been taking the first team reps because I think he has an edge. And I don't think Banks is just going to walk in and take the position. He's going to take his lumps, but it's good that this is happening in training camp. He can look at the film. He can see how he can get better. He can get stronger. He's in an NFL workout program now. And let's see how this plays out. But Brunskill is not going to just let Banks take his job. That's for sure.
Oh, no. There's pride. in football, man. There's pride in competition. No way is he going to now. Is Bank the better athlete than Brunskill? Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But at the end of the day, he's still a rookie. And like you said, I'm not going to add no more to it because you said it excellent, Jay in the Bay, answering that question. He is a rookie. He's going to take his lumps, but that's how they learn. That's how they learn, and that's how they become pro. And he's gonna, he's gonna make some mistakes. But I can't wait to see a more what's the word? More not educated, but more prime Banks when he's getting everything together in the way he's going to be. But for now, you can't undermine Brunskill. He is a vet compared to the rookies, so we'll see what happens. But I love that there's a competition there, and I love that. I don't love that he's struggling, but I love that he's going to learn from those struggles. Your character is built through adversity. The more adversity you go to, that's where you know who you are. You find out your character, and then you either make a decision if this is for you or not. So he's going to find out real quick, does he belong in the NFL or he doesn't? But he's going to have to take his lumps. But a very good question, Monte. Appreciate it. Niner Gang Podcast says they're trying him out. Remember, Brunskill is still there, and he can play right guard. Yep, he agrees with you. Don Burr says, I'm a real don't burr my mommy. This dude is cracking me up. I'm sorry, he had me with my coach does coke. My goodness. Oh my God, they're talking to. I love the way when you guys talk to each other. What's up, Michael Miller? Welcome to my podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Where is my hat you owe me after losing the bet? What? You gotta be kidding me. This dude. Oh, I know who this guy is. This guy has 94,000 people following him, doesn't know nothing about football. I'm sorry. That's right. I know who he is. I'm the one that only, this channel launches in 2022. Enjoy yourself. Okay.
It's a nice day.
Yeah. Let's see. Ryan Rizzle, I love the guy. Ask him. He wants to date. I got to make sure I read these before I put it on them. I gotta read these before I bring them up, bro. Some of these guys are too much. What's up, Jason Ellsworth? Welcome to the show. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. Blocking without pads is a lot harder as well. Let's see how he does starting tomorrow with pads. I agree.
I think sometimes people forget, there's a difference in college and the pros. It's a huge difference. In the pros, everyone was great in college, for the most part. When Aaron Banks was at Notre Dame, I'm sure he was the best offensive lineman there. And I'm sure he was used to winning a lot of his battles in game and in practice. But, you're going up against professionals, who have done this for a long time. And they have pride, as you say, Niners. They're not just going to let some rookie bully them around. And just like Jimmy G, he's not just going to allow Trey to come in. Jimmy G came in, professional attitude. He understands it's a business, and he's got the right attitude. He'll train Trey. He'll allow Trey to pick his brain, but he's still going to go out and try to win that job and prove that he's still a starting quarterback in the NFL. And hopefully he'll get a chance to prove that this year.
Yep, I agree 100% with that. Let me see a couple more. What's up, Luke Luna? Welcome to the show, brother.
Good.
My brother from another mother. We carry the same last name. I love it. Let's see. Niner Gang says, also, Brunskill is Aaron Donald's killer. True.
Yeah.
True, he is, man. His is kryptonite for sure. Let's see here. Fernando, welcome to the show. He said, what's up, Jay? He's probably one of your followers.
Good?
Welcome. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe channel. Appreciate it, man. Show me Niners some love. So definitely, our team looks promising. Jay in the Bay. I'm excited. It's an exciting time to be a Niner fan this year. One of our greatest obstacle every year, though, it is health. So I pray that we stay healthy. Let me ask you a question. Regardless of who start, Jimmy or Trey, but let's just say Jimmy for now. If we have a healthy roster, No major injuries. We're going to have, minor injuries here and there, but no major injuries. How far do you think, based on the roster that we have and the schedule that we're playing, how far do you think we can go this year in a healthy roster?
I think we win at least 12 games this year, and I think Jimmy could lead us to an NFC Championship game, possibly against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that would be a hell of a game if both teams are all healthy. Much respect to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They brought back, I believe, every starter on offense and defense, so they'll be ready to go. And yeah, I think he can at least take us to the NFC Championship game. Tommy Huxley, what's good?
See, Tommy knows that the kind of person this gentleman is. Like
Yeah.
Miller lives with his mommy. What's up, Davis? Abraham, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will be notified each and every time we go live. Tommy, actually, welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you. Much love and respect. Always a pleasure having you on my show, bro. So I agree. I agree with you with the number of games we're going to win. So you said 12 wins.
Yeah.
So I'm going to not put you on the spot, but I'm going to ask you, who are those losses and to whom? And why?
I would say the number one loss the number one that first comes to mind is Tennessee. It's going to be a road game. It's going to be 2 days before Christmas. It's a Thursday night game. It's going to be a short week for the 49ers. We have to fly from Santa Clara all the way to Nashville, Tennessee. That's one loss. I would say that we'll probably lose at least one game to the LA Rams, one game to the Seahawks. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost one game to the Cardinals. And then one more loss, I would say. I know I'm trying to think of the schedule. I know we have a game, Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago. I would say maybe one game to. There's always going to be a game on the schedule where we're supposed to win, but we may not, and that could be maybe Chicago. Maybe. I think maybe Chicago.
We're not going to lose to Atlanta again, are we?
I hope not, right?
Yeah. That was, talk about a letdown. I mean, they came.
Atlanta has our number.
That game, we came from the Ravens, and man, that was a fought battle against the Ravens. We come home and we just lay an egg. Not really necessarily lay an egg. We played them all right, but we could have done better.
Yeah.
But the craziest game that I ever saw in 2019 was that Pittsburgh Steelers game, Week 3 opener, where I don't know, how many times did we turn the ball over? Like 5 times.
Yeah.
And still came out with a W.
Yeah.
That's unheard of, man. You don't turn over the ball that many times and come in with a W, man. So that's it. Look, let's see here. We have the Familia Sports Report of the Rams. Props to my Niner brother, Jay in the Bay. And hey, Niner sickness, great content. Good luck this season to the both of your teams. Thank you, sir. And as likewise, the same thing with your Rams, bro. I used to, when I was younger and I came into this media, I was more of a trash talker. My team, there's your team. But once I got to know different fan base, Jay in the Bay, once I got to know Ram fan bases, Cowboys, and I can't stand the Cowboys as a team, but I got to know their fan base, Seahawk fan bases. I got to have a different perspective of football. And now, I talk a little trash because it's fun, but I keep it really minimal, just to the teams itself. But it's always an honor meeting and getting to know other fan bases of their sport. Because at the end of the day, John, Jay in the Bay, tell me if I'm wrong. They love their team as much as we love ours. And why should we hate on them for loving their team the way we love ours? So, and they're going, and sometimes they'll talk boastfully about, Matthew Stafford, he's the savior, and why not? It's his team. They're the team. If we brought him in, we would have been hyping him up as a Niner fan. So I can understand that. So welcome to the show, brother. You're always welcome here, and my viewers are very respectful. They know better. If they disrespect anybody out of place, then they can't follow me, man. Because it's all about respecting one another and that we do that here. So I know in your show you have. I don't do it as much as on mine, and I probably will, but I know that you bring different fan bases onto your show,
Yeah.
and I like that. I think CJ Ruthless Sports does it as well. So I definitely like that. I think I might start implementing that more on my show as well, because they bring unique. Like, what's that one guy? Pale Time.
Yep.
I believe that I've been watching his show, and he's just inspired for his team, and like we are for ours. And he has a lot of good perspective. Very respectful guy. He talks about his team, but he never disrespectful. So even that one kid, he's a Seahawks fan.
Stevie A. Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell he's really humble, very nice, polite. He just unfortunately, that part of his brain where he became a Seahawk fan. No fault of his own. No, I'm just messing. Everybody loves their team as much as we love ours. So to all fan bases, man, you guys are always welcome to my show. And I already know you're welcome to Jay and the Bay Show. You welcome every fan base, huh?
Yeah, it's especially it's funny because the NFC West, as Pale Time likes to say, we're a dysfunctional family, and it's cool to see the perspective of a Rams fan, of a Seahawks fan, of a Cardinals fan, because we play each other twice a year. We know each other so well. So, and it's all about building that YouTube community, and as long as we keep it respectful, which everyone pretty much I've interacted with has been, because like you said, we all love our team. We all just want to win. And shout out to Amelia Sports Report. He's a LA Rams fan, and he's on my channel as well, and he's always respectful. So it's always good to go back and forth, and I can't wait for the season to start, and then we start playing those division games, and that's going to be really entertaining. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, good thought. And the one thing too, Jay in the Bay, that I've noticed, at least for me, maybe because I'm in my 50s, bro. I'm going to be 51 in a week from now. The trash talking kind of gets old, at least for me now. I'm not saying that young people can't do it, but it gets old. Like, your team sucks this, and your team. I'm like, it's like at a point, it's like, really, you're just going back and forth. But when you get to know another fan base, and you get to talk to them, how they became fans of their team, why they became fans. A lot of those are interesting stories, man. You're like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. Or sometimes you can find yourself being similar to that individual, just different teams, and you can find a connection with them. So I still don't like their teams. I still root for my Niners, but it's nice to talk to them before and after a game, and especially since we face them twice a year, to get their perspective of the game. It's fun, and maybe that's kind of a show. I don't know if you're going to do it, but I'm going to try to see if I can bring in an opposing team, the Rams or the Seahawks or the Cardinals, a week before during that week of the game, kind of talk with them and kind of get their points of the game. I think that would be interesting instead of just trash talking all the time.
Absolutely. That's a great idea, and that's already in the works. And that's why it's all about building that YouTube community. Because when I think of Rams, there's several content creators who come up. When I think of the Seahawks, there's a few that come up. And then when I think of the Cardinals, there's a few that come up. So it's always good, especially during the week of the game, to go back and forth, say, hey, well, why do you think the Cardinals have an advantage over the Niners this week? How's your team doing? Yada, yada, yada. And speaking of birthdays, I believe we have the same birthday.
Me and you?
Yep.
You're August 9th?
August 9th, yep.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wow. Different year for sure, though.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw it on your Facebook. I was like, wow, you got the same birthday. Small
August
world.
9th. Look, right on. So when I celebrate my birthday, I'm gonna go live. Wow, cool. Maybe we can do a quick live, me and you on our days, and kind of that'll be right on. So you're 9th. Based on your email, I'm assuming you're 87?
87, yep.
Okay,
87.
that's what I kind of 87. So I'm 17 years older than you.
Yeah.
My goodness. I was born in 70.
I respect you. I respect you. I respect your knowledge that you have for the 49ers. I mean, you saw the Niners through the bad, in the 70s to, the golden era, in the 80s. And I didn't get a chance to see that. I haven't even got a chance, as you mentioned before, to see the 49ers win a Super Bowl. So, I definitely respect, the OGs who have seen it all. So I appreciate you having me on to the show, though. I appreciate it.
Oh, I know. I appreciate you being on here. Yeah, that's one thing that I've my first game ever was the catch, DeWitt Clark's catch, the NFC Championship against the Cowboys, Danny White and the Cowboys, and Joe Montana to Dwight Clark. I was my first game. I was a fan before that, but I was in my first game in person, and I got the privilege to go and watch all 5 Super Bowls in person. So that's something that I would always hold dear. And people ask me, "Have you went to the last 2?" I'm like, "Nope." Why? I go, for one, I can't afford it. I go, those other 5, I was invited to. I was young and invited to. Now I got to pay my own way. Nope. And then plus I suffer a disability that a lot of you guys don't know, but I suffered a real bad disability, which I actually died on the operating table. I was pronounced dead for 3.5 minutes where my ticker came back. And to find out that I would be paralyzed from my waist down for the rest of my life. So for 10 years, I couldn't move anything from my waist down. But by the grace of God, I'm walking now. So because of my disability, I don't go to games as much anymore. And it is what it is. But I didn't get a chance to go to the last 2. Otherwise, I would have. But I did get the opportunity to go to 5 and watch all 5. And that was something that I'll take to my grave of experience. So it's been a blessing to do that. Luke Luna says, these guys are chopping at the bit, hoping that any of the quarterbacks play bad and call themselves Niner fans. Go Jimmy G. Go Trey Lance. Let's just win.
Yeah.
I like those tattoos, by the way, there, Luke Luna. Those looks like I don't know if it's a dragon or
looks like a dragon from here.
A snake. It's hard because of the picture's so small, but
yeah, I mean, I think some people, and I can't blame them. I respect their opinion, but they're just tired of Jimmy G. And I understand that, the best ability is availability. And unfortunately, he hasn't been available. But that 1 year he was, went to the Super Bowl. So I think that's the reason why he's still on the roster. The Niners, obviously, he still has 2 years left on his deal, but none of the money's guaranteed. So the Niners could have cut bait with Jimmy back in February or March. But, they still feel that he has value to the team. And as you said, you trust Shanahan. I trust Shanahan. If he feels Jimmy gives the team the best chance to win week 1, week 10, week 15, then I'm down with that. And letting Trey sit, I don't think stunts his development. Pat Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. Hell, Aaron Rodgers sat, 2-3 years? So it's been done before. And I don't think it'll stunt his growth. And as you mentioned before, we're not a rebuilding franchise. This team can win now, at least go to the playoffs if we're healthy. And I think Jimmy can still play well. He's not going to throw 50 touchdowns a year, no, but I think he can still play well enough, to get us where we want to go, a deep run in the playoffs.
I agree 100% with you, inthebay. 2019, people need to understand too, Jimmy won a lot of games for us. Yes, everything goes to the playoffs where they passed the ball more. Ran the ball more than passing the game. But listen, Kyle Shanahan had the defense that he had. Number 1 defense. They can stop the run. They were stopping the Green Bay. They were stopping Minnesota. And they were able to run at will. If you can run more interceptions, our percentage go up when you're passing. So if you can run the ball and be successful at it and move the chains, why would you want to pass? I don't care if we had Joe Montana back there. I don't care if we had Peyton Manning. You don't want to pass in those cases. So I understand why they ran the ball more. Jimmy threw in the Super Bowl. People want to blame Jimmy for losing the Super Bowl. I can disagree. That's a whole different show. I don't think he could have done better, but I don't think he was the reason why we lost the Super Bowl. We can put a lot of blame on the defense there. And also in the regular season in 2019, he went heel to heel with New Orleans. That's the biggest game people see. But if you watch the Arizona games and the Rams games, Jimmy did a lot to win those games. So I'm confident with Jimmy. I know people are just tired of his injuries. And that's the reason why we're here today, talking about Trey Lance. That's why we moved from 12 to 3 to take Trey Lance, because of the injuries to Jimmy. and even Kyle has to admit, Jimmy is good, but he's tired of having to go to Nick Mullins when Jimmy gets hurt. So that I believe that's why they went ahead and got a quarterback for the future. But I think our best chances of winning, at least in 2021, is with Jimmy. And when Jimmy's there, he can win. I mean, how many games did we lose 2019? 3 games?
Yep.
We won 13 with Jimmy.
Yep.
So 13-3 with Jimmy G, you know what I mean? So let's give him, don't be so hard on Jimmy. I know that you guys want the new kid on the block, but let's give Jimmy a chance, at least in my perspective, bro. And we'll see what happens from there. Luke says, if things people say about Jimmy are true, they will remain true and Trey will start. If not, then I hope he makes the haters blush. Yeah. Yeah, and it's up to Jimmy. But one thing, oops, I hit the wrong button. Hold on, guys. One thing for sure, and I said this in the beginning of the show, they're going to sharpen each other up. They're going to make each other better. Jimmy is going to be better because he knows that Trey's on his heels. And that's going to, he wants to prove to the Niners and he wants to prove to the haters that he still can play. So that's going to show Jimmy play. He's going to ball out for that. And I don't know about you, Jay, but for myself, if Jimmy's a quarterback and he's sporting the red and gold, I'm going to support him until he's not. Unless he's totally screwing things up and he's still there, then it's a different story. But I think we can win games with Jimmy. I think we can definitely win a lot of games this year with Jimmy. And then we'll have a fresh Trey. Maybe we can implement him later on. I think our schedule gets a little bit easier towards the end of the season. And maybe then we can start steamrolling on a lot of teams where we're beating them by 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. Maybe we can bring in Trey at that point and do kind of what we like to call garbage time and let him get his feet wet so that he has a little bit of experience before the playoffs. And therefore, but I'm okay with Jimmy. So we'll rock with Jimmy into things changes in training camp. So what are you looking forward as we're coming close to our show? What are you looking forward to tomorrow's first day of pads there, Jay in the Bay?
Let's see. I mean, for me, it's still the quarterback. I want to see both quarterbacks continue to play. I think and I want to see the wide receiver 3. Those are my main. Who's going to step up? Will the other receivers, progress? I heard that Austin Watkins was taking a few snaps on first string. I heard that last week.
Really?
And yeah, and that's what I'm really interested in is the quarterback and also the wide receivers on offense. On defense, I mean, I think it's pretty set. I mean, the linebackers are set. The secondary, the corners are pretty much set. The safeties, I mean, I'm expecting Jaquaski Tart to start. We already know Jimmy's going to start, Jimmy Ward. And the defensive line, I think, is set. As far as the front 4, we expect, if everyone's healthy, it's going to be D Ford, Bosa, Armstead, Samson, Javon, Kinlaw, and I think DJ Jones at least, and Arden Key. I think those are your front runners. So the defense, I mean, I don't think there's really much to see. all the intrigue, all the position battles, I feel like are on offense. At the right guard with Brunskill and Banks. I want to see the tight ends. I don't know about how you feel, but I feel like there is a drop-off from Kittle going to Dwelly. Michael Pruitt, I think he's out with a calf injury. I heard that last week. I think Charlie Warner, but we did sign Jordan Matthews,
and we're moving him.
He really hasn't. He hasn't played significant games, significant snaps since like 2018. So it's like, what can he bring? I don't think we'll use him as a blocker. He'll be more as a receiver. But we'll see if he makes the 53-man active roster. And also the running back room. It sucks that Jeff Wilson Jr. got hurt. He'll be out until I think mid-November, December. And I saw a video today though that Jeff Wilson Jr. was at training camp, but he was just doing just some rehab work. But that's good to see that he's at camp. Trey Sermon, I hear he's getting a lot of snaps with the first string. He could potentially maybe win Rookie of the Year because I know we want to limit Mostert's touches throughout the season. I mean, I don't think he should get more than about 12 touches a game, if that. And I know Shanahan loves to run the ball, and I think he's going to use 3 or 4 running backs on game day to run the ball and control the time of possession, and allow the defense to limit the other offensive possessions. And I think that's how Shanahan wants to win games: run the ball, work off play action passing, especially with George Kittle. No one can guard him, and win games that way. He's not going to throw. He's not going to have many games where it's going to be like New Orleans, where Jimmy's got to throw 50, 55 passes. It's a 42-45 game. I don't think that's how Shanahan wants to win games. He wants to control the clock, run the ball. And that's not always exciting from a fan. I love it because I want to see us run the ball, demoralize the defense. But, for a quarterback, for fantasy purposes and all that, it doesn't look good. But I don't care about all that. I'm just about winning games. But for me, through training camp, I think it's all offense. That's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I hear you. I know that everybody gets caught up in the passes and the 20-yarder, 30-yarder bombs, and but the running game, you got to set the tempo. You got to set the tempo. You got to get the running game. The best way to beat up Patrick Mahomes is to keep him off the field, and you do that by running the ball down other defenses' throats. So I like that they brought in Sherman. For what I've been hearing in camp is that Elijah Mitchell has been really impressing everybody in camp. He's been doing a couple of punt returns, which I think will be great. But I heard he's been impressing. So our running back stable it's pretty good. Raheem Mostert's still there playing hard. We brought in Trey Sermon, as you said, and then we brought Wayne Gellman from the Giants in the offseason. I think he's going to be very good for us as well. I think he's very underrated myself. And then with Wilson, it was bad that he got hurt. Nobody wants injuries. Nobody wants somebody to get hurt. But he's going to be fresh legs. And, we can't see it now maybe, but it's going to be very important when we're in December and we're running the ball and we're running the rock down people's throats. And then you bring in Jeff Wilson Jr. with fresh legs, and we know what he's capable of doing. So you bring him into the equation with fresh legs, and let me tell you, man, that's just I'm not glad he got hurt, but at least now we don't have to cut anybody. I think I don't know if we're still going to cut somebody on the running backs. But how many running backs do you think we're going to go this year, in your opinion? I'm curious.
Including Juice Check, I would say at least 4, maybe 5. But I'd imagine
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine one of the running backs will end up on practice squad, so that could be Jermichael Hasty.
Yeah.
Or we'll see what happens with Mitchell. I hope that one of those running backs can produce in special teams, because I don't know about you, but Jed McKinnon last year left a lot to be desired on the kick returns. And I think we definitely needed to upgrade there. The Niners brought over Trent Sherfield. They brought over Simba Webster. So hopefully one of those guys can make the active 53-man roster and, give us a spark in that return game, because that can totally flip the field. It'll give the offense a short amount of yards to get to the end zone, and sometimes that gets overlooked. But speaking of the return game, what do you think about the Ayuk show? Brandon Ayuk returning punts. How could we have our best offensive wide receiver returning punts?
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
I don't like it. I don't think they will. I don't know. I know that John Taylor back in the day when he was running with Jerry Rice, he was a punt returner and he was good at it. But I don't know. I don't like it. If you're asking what they will do, maybe. What I would like them to do is not. I think he's taking off as a receiver. He's clearly our number one receiver on our offense, with Debo being number 2. I just would hate for him to get hurt on a punt return, man. And there goes a receiver again. Who do we have behind him? So I think from that point, maybe not. But I heard that they've been practicing him a lot back there. They've been watching. But then again, in practice with no pads and no tackling, nobody's going to touch him. So, you know what I mean? Maybe they just want to see what he has, but I doubt it that that Kyle Shanahan will put him in his best receiver, one of his best receivers as a punter. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to bring in. We brought in some other guys, and then we picked up that one guy from the Rams. I think it was. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's
Simba Webster.
Webster
Yeah.
also. So we're bringing different people to kind of play around with that. I don't think we need to focus on Ayuk. Let's keep Ayuk where he belongs, just as a receiver, where he can do all his damage, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, well, what's up, Khalil? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. So
What's
anyway,
good?
it was a pleasure having you on here, bro. It was fun. I love what you do, man. You are an inspiration to me. I love your excitement, your videos, the way you wear the mask when you do your intro. I love it, man. I love your fire, your zeal, and your fan base, man. They have nothing but respect for you. So I look up to you, bro. I don't care what age I am, whether I'm older or not, whether I'm the OG or not. It doesn't matter to me. I look up to you, bro. You do a great job, and you're definitely an inspiration. So I wanted you to continue to do what you do best, bro. Keep bringing in football to your viewers. Continue to be you, man. Don't change for nobody, man. Continue to do what you do. I cannot wait to see you during the regular season and the antics you're going to be doing. I cannot wait, bro. So I try, bro, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just old. I'm an OG, so I do it, and then I look at myself, and I'm like, oh, I look like an idiot doing it. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying me. And then I delete it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my wife says I just need to let go and just be myself as well.
Yeah.
And you'll never know. But I love what you do, bro. I love your excitement, and I love everything you do. So keep up the great work that you do, bro. I hope you hit that 1,000 subscribers soon, and you will. I know you're going to hit it soon, bro. So with that said, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of my show. Is there anything you want to say to my fan base before we'll call it a day?
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you having me on to the Niner Sickness YouTube channel. It's definitely been a pleasure. And for all your fans here, you can definitely find me on Jay in the Bay on YouTube. Also, same name on IG, Twitter, Facebook. And yeah, I like to have fun. I like to talk about my love for the Niners. I like to be a little silly. I like to make people laugh a little bit. Sometimes I look at my videos, I'm like, man, you actually did that, but it's fun just to have fun. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. If we lose, there'll be something special for you guys to see every game. If for those who've seen me before, you know what I do. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Go Niners! I'm looking forward to a healthy training camp. I'm looking forward to the battles that will ensue in training camp, and I'm excited for preseason. I can't wait for the season to start. And go Niners! And of course, always stay faithful to the Bay.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, so real quick, before I let you go, I wanted to say one thing that just came to mind. How humble you really are, bro. For I don't know. I don't know how many times you were coming on my show and just saying hello, and you never ever mentioned. Not that I wouldn't mind, but you never mentioned you had your own show. I didn't know. I think I started following the Niners Ultimate Report, and then through him, I found out you had your show. I'm like, Jay your name always caught my attention, though. I don't know if you noticed when I first read, I go Jay in the Bay. So you
Yeah.
always caught my attention by your name, but I didn't know you had your own show, man. So now that I do, I follow it, man, and I learned a lot of cues from you, bro. So I appreciate it. Look who's coming in towards the party at the end of the party, bro. You came to the end of the party, bro. Papi Pablo Triple X. What's up? He said, "What's up, Beto and Jay in the Bay? How y'all doing, brothers? Ready for the season, Niners?" Yes, sir.
Good?
Go ahead, bro. Do your thing. I did it again.
What's good? Papi Pablo, Triple X. Thanks for coming through, man.
Papi Pablo, man, coming at the end of the broadcast, but never better late than never, bro. So thank you for stopping by. Everybody that tuned in, thank you for your support. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate you, man. Continue to follow my brother from another mother at his channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, Niner Sickness 49. Follow me on Instagram at Niner Sickness, and obviously follow me on Facebook at Niner Sickness. So I am barely starting my channel here on YouTube, so support me. I started on Facebook. I don't know if I told you that, Jay in the Bay, or not, but I started doing my thing on Facebook. Somebody told me about YouTube, so I switched over. But all right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thank you for being faithful. Until our next show, peace. Love you all, guys.
See you later.
Later, guys.